Always like to have a couple of pregnant children and pets. Just makes the trip a little bit more diverse.
It does, doesn't it?
If you've got a recurring back injury, let me know. What's going to happen is we're going to go out towards Parliament and then we'll come back down the river with the tide. When we get to Tower Bridge and shortly thereafter past Wapping Police Station, that's when we can put some speed on and that's when you can all have fun. If, however, you think that we're going too fast and you're uncomfortable, there's no point screaming help, because I think you're having fun. Raise your arm like that in the air. Hold it still. I'll come to the front of the boat pointing, you will all have a good laugh.
Fair enough. Get your rocket launchers out and have a go at it.
Ducks over there.
So here we are, a lovely place to start. The Palace of Westminster, built to replace the one that burnt down, Henry VII's palace. This was finished in 1898. Charles Barry, the architect, he put the Lord's Prayer in a band all the way around underneath the windows on the first floor. He said that that was to prevent evil from entering the building. I'm not sure if that succeeded. It is the largest square Gothic tower of its type in Europe. The black things were added afterwards. They're air vents. There was so much hot air being generated they needed more vents to let it out. They're disguised to look like the building, but there's a bit of smoke coming out the top there. They must have come in, burnt their receipts. Maybe it's cigars, who knows? The shame about the vinyl tents, they were put in the 70s. They didn't have enough places to eat and drink in the building. They built out a few more. The stairs there are black rod stairs. The only person who's allowed to use them to board a boat is the Queen. Never use them. Maybe she will one day then. Up beyond it, the M95 there.
Is that the duck over there?
Building.
Is that the duck over there?
They're keeping an eye on us right now. Military intelligence, branch 5. There'll be some guy whose job it is to listen to all of the chatter in a half-mile radius of the building. So if you've got anything you want to say to them, now's your chance.
With the arrows on the top.
Don't say anything like bomb.
All the signals and arrows at microwaves.
The old St Thomas's Hospital there.
That's where I was, on the 6th floor.
Yeah.
A wonderful woman worked as a trainee nurse some years ago. Brought comfort to the hearts of many men. Happy Titmus. God bless her. The lady with the lamps. Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp. Founder of palliative care for the dying back in the Crimean War. The time when warfare was changing, of course, we still had our officers riding around on horses with sabres. And the Russian infantry had machine guns. So we're discovering a whole world of new injuries. All of the lions there, you see them now. They start to crop up on both sides as we go down towards Blackfriars Bridge. They mark the floodline. Back in the day, the old rhyme used to go, when the lions drink, London's going to sink. Nowadays, of course, we've got the Thames barrier, so that won't happen. And the clock tower, St Stephen, now of course the clock tower of Queen Elizabeth II. Won't change us from calling it Big Ben after the bell. If you look at it, it's falling down very slightly to the right and away from us. They messed up the foundations when they put in the Jubilee Line platforms at Westminster. I don't think it's going to fall down, but it is tilting slightly. And there's the black building, Portcullis House. The most expensive building in the UK. It's completely bomb-proof. It's where they keep all the important records. And the statue there is Queen Lucia, warrior queen of the Iceni tribe. She fought the Romans, made it as far as London. And behind it now, Westminster Abbey. London Eye is of course the most popular visitor attraction in London. It's only meant to be every year. It's so popular they reinforced it. You can get married in it if you like, if you don't have many friends. They stop it at the top and have a little civil ceremony. And it's all downhill from there. Sorry? You got married in it? You going around the visit. Brilliant.
Hey, can you get divorced in it?
You what?
Can you get divorced in it? Can you get divorced in it?
Probably. You pay him enough money. Takes half an hour to go round. And on the other side there's the Ministry of Defence, the green roofs. We call it the iceberg, because there's much more of it underground than there is above the ground. Below us right now, half a mile down, massive nuclear bunker, where they'll run London from if it ever comes under attack from nuclear bombs. The only people that will survive, of course, will be the politicians. They say the cockroaches are the ones that live after the blast. It's certainly the case with the ones we've got right now.
No change there.
Horse guards, hotel. I point it out because I like the architecture.
Is that where you
Charing Cross Station.
Stunning building, isn't it?
1,600 quid a
Got a
night.
Jubilee foot rail bridge.
Sweet.
You got the side there? That's the oldest monument in London. Older than London.
Oh yeah, I'm still there.
Cleopatra's Needle. Absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with Cleopatra. We just name it after her because we've heard of her. It was built for a man called Tutmos III. The boat that carried it over from Egypt sank, and every single sailor drowned. Before they died, they lashed it to floating pontoons, so it survived. And after all of that effort, when it came here, the architect put the sphinxes facing the wrong way round. They're supposed to be guarding it, but they're just staring at it. Behind it, Shellmex building, Savoy Adelphi, Savoy Hotel. And behind me now, the Ladies' Bridge. Waterloo Bridge was built entirely by women. Finished in 1944 as part of women's war work. The only bridge on a river that was completed on time and within budget. Massive Portland stone edifice. Somerset House. One of Victoria's palaces. Now civic amenities. You see the archway in the top there, in the bottom there. It's where she used to enter her palace by boat. Gives you a sense of how much we've embanked the Thames since then.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Of course, one of the reasons the river doesn't freeze anymore is we've cut so much of it away that there's so much water coming in a much smaller space. The other reason is London Bridge used to have loads of piles on it where people have built out, put shops on it, and they'd restrict the flow of water on the outward tide. Royal National Theatre and ITV. IBM in the middle.
I was only going down there a couple of weeks ago, and it's the first time I've ever been on the
Down there, the Oxo Tower.
I went on that big boat, you know.
It's a relic of a time when advertising was illegal on the side of the Thames without the Queen's permission. So the architect that put the windows in there was taken to court, where he said, Your Honour, it's just a random collection of geometric shapes. It doesn't say Oxo. Got away with it. Goes to show what you can do when you got a good lawyer. We've just passed from Westminster into the City of London. King Street Archway there. Facing it is the god of the river, Old Father Thames. Behind the post box there is Nancy Astor's house, first female politician, who said to Winston Churchill in the House of Commons, "Winston, if I was your wife, I would put poison in your tea." He responded, "Madam, if I was your husband, I'd drink it." We were not friends. HMS President, an old stealth battleship, dressed up to look like a trawler. Saw active service in World War I. Now it's a bar, like so many old soldiers, it's time to drink. All the old royals staring down at us.
Oh yeah. We're old now, aren't we?
Princess Anne, half of her face is that smile, it's extraordinary. And Louis Mountbatten in the middle, the only one that's not with us anymore. He was blown up off the coast of Sligo in his yacht by the IRA in 1979.
Crikey. All that time ago.
So we're momentarily going to be entering the sea. According to the maritime map, Blackfriars Bridge is the boundary between freshwater Thames and saltwater Thames. So if you're thirsty, now would be the time to lean over and have a drink. I wouldn't recommend it though. It's cleaner than you think, this Thames though. Certainly not as poisonous as it was in the 1850s. There are lots of fish in here now. I saw a pickerel the other day, granted it was dead, but I saw it. Seen some trout as well. They look quite healthy, they jump up and down occasionally. You know that you cut it open and the cigarette butt would fall out of the stomach. But at least they're in here.
Lovely.
St Paul's. Christopher Wren's last masterpiece. He loved his domes, Christopher Wren. They tried to block that, they said it looked a bit too much like a mosque, but he got away with it. And actually they say it's the only reason why it's still here, because a bomb glanced off the dome in World War II and buried itself in the foundations without detonating. They dug it out, took it to the Hackney Marshes, and it blew a half-mile crater there. So we could have lost it. Norman Foster's Millennium Bridge, the only bridge in the world that cost more to fix than it did to build. It wobbled.
Can't build nothing, can you?
When he was told he built a wobbly bridge, he said, "It's not my fault the bridge wobbles, it's the fault of the Londoners. They walk funny." He said, "We have a swinging gate." He still had to fix it.
I've been back there.
Tate Modern, the old Bankside power station. Shakespeare's Globe. Took him 400 years to replace the one that burned down. But there it is, a real labour of love. The only thatched building in London. Built with original Tudor tools. And right now they've got an excellent 12th night on in there with Stephen Fry playing Malvolio. Well worth £5 to stand up and watch that one. It's one of the best things I've seen for a long time. Another bridge there. And behind it, a shard of glass. Can you believe that's the tallest building in Europe? Opens officially in February 2012. There'll be a viewing platform at the top. Cheese Grater's coming up a bit further down, that will beat it in 2014, if they ever get it finished. They keep running out of money. Cannon Street, that is, Cannon Street Station and Rail Bridge. It used to have a beautiful Art Deco glass dome, where the great thing is. It's considered to be a national treasure, so they took it down in the war to keep it safe. They very carefully loaded it onto a train, took it to a warehouse in Kent. Nary a single bomb fell anywhere near the station for the whole of the war. The warehouse got bombed, they jettisoned their bombs on the warehouse, so we lost the roof and kept the station. Shame. The Golden Hind. Francis Drake's flagship. You wouldn't have liked you calling him a pirate, but he was. He robbed off everybody that we were on the seas with. He stole enough gold off the Spanish to clear our national debt. We can use him right now. It's a replica, it's built for a film. It's very, very authentic. And you can spend the night on it if you want. You have to pay a fair whack for it. London Bridge. Site of the only bridge on the river for 1,000 years. Previous one of these was sold to an American billionaire. Shipped it out to Lake Havasu City in Arizona, where it now stands over a little creek. The story goes he thought he was buying Tower Bridge and he got diddled. He swears that's not the case, but you would, wouldn't you? That's why they have the national window cleaning competitions. That's not. It may be shiny on the outside, but it's filthy on the inside. It's the Daily Express newspaper. Next to it, the Billingsgate Fish Market. Not a fish market anymore. They love the cod on the weather vanes. There's customs and excise. Two battleships today. On the inside, not active anymore. The HMS Belfast was the largest ship in our Navy in 1944. Guns at the front there, they fire for 13 miles. They're currently targeted on London Gateway service station on the M1 motorway. So if you're going home that way, don't stop there. Nearer to us now. Come all the way from Brazil. It's been in Europe for 6 months. It's going home when it leaves London. The U-27, a Brazilian trading vessel for their navy. And the Tower of London on the port side. Entrance to Traitors Gate there. Been bricked up of course, but you don't kill traitors anymore. Back in the day, that was where a lot of good people got their heads chopped off, including Anne Boleyn, who said the night before she died she was glad she only had a little neck. It shows at least she was a practical woman, because if you've ever chopped logs, it's pretty hard to get through in one blow. As the Earl of Monmouth in the 1700s found out to his cost. He was a rugby player. Took Jack Ketch 7 blows of the axe. After the first one, apparently, Monmouth turned his head in the block and raised an eyebrow. Tower Bridge. In 1954, a man called Albert Gunter was driving a double-decker bus up that side. When he realised it was rising, he made a split-second decision it would be safer to floor it than to brake. Made a 3-foot gap. Landed absolutely fine on the other side with a bus full of passengers. When he got back to the depot, he got 10 bob and a medal. Nowadays, he's lost his job. And there'd have been an inquest. Here we are now. Catherine's Dock. And heading out towards Wapping Police Station. Catherine's Dock, of course, was built. There used to be old poorhouses there. And they were all knocked down to make way for the docks for all of the rich men and their yachts. And this part of the river was on fire for about a week in World War II, when a tallow